morning. So it's break time. I hear my Willem. Maybe I should make myself visible in case he glances this way. Nope, no glancing. Oh well. So I cut the lawn. I cut which one? The grass on the huge septic bed. Enormous. It's as big as this whole beach is. Anyway, I thought I would take a little break. Oh, look at these little footprints. First, they could be that puppy dog. Yeah, maybe they're the puppy dog and not the raccoon. I thought I would just take a little break while I'm able. I guess if I pull my chair out in the middle, then if he comes around, he'll see me sitting there. And I won't have to watch for him. Just stand up there. This hat appears to be falling apart. There's a string, 3 strings hanging from it. So I'll just sit over here, have a little break. So I mowed and mowed and mowed in the sun. Got quite hot, thought maybe I'd even go in the water. Imagine going in the water. You know, I bought a bathing suit the other day, but I was with my family in Burlington, I think. I thought, oh look, cheap bathing suits, this is a good price. Brought it home, hung it up in my little closet, thought, I've got a bathing suit. And I went to go get it, and it's only a top. Well, that didn't do me any good. I like to just go in with my clothes on. If you go in with your clothes on, then you stay cool all day long. Because the closest stuff to you doesn't dry out completely, and you really stay cool. I have to recuperate after all that mowing. There's a big campfire metal thing in the center. I guess those are, what are they called? Those are a rim of a truck or something. I don't know. Anyway, so that's there, and I thought, well, I'll just go around the outside of it, and so I did. I just went around and around, and it was amazing how quickly I finished the field. It took 1/10 of the time that it usually takes. Isn't that interesting? Same field. I did a good job, though. I'm pleased with what I did. You know, there was a story once told in church about an older woman and a fellow that was going to make some money mowing lawns. So he came to her and he was going to mow her lawn, and they agreed on a price. And he did the lawn, and then she came out and looked at it and said, now, that's about a such and such dollar lawn. But I want you to do it and make it the very best lawn you can. You know, that's like a $5 lawn. Probably that was what they had agreed upon. And in the end, he did it over and over, and he got every little bit done and perfected it, and it was a $20 lawn job, and so she gave him $20 for it, and he learned how to do a really good job on a lawn. And I was mowing these lawns, and you know, at the beginning it was dandelions, and I know that dandelions, every plant on the planet wants to go to seed. So it'll produce a flower, and then it'll produce a seed, and then it's done. It's done its deed. It has fulfilled the measure of its creation. And so when you cut dandelion flowers off, they're not done yet. They're going to come back because they still have to do their seed. And if their flower wasn't developed enough, they may come back and do another flower. And you can cut that lawn every day, but until that flower has finished flowering and has gone to seed, it's going to come back. So I kind of think it's pointless to cut your lawn until it seeds, but of course by then the lawn is a foot tall. But you have to mow back and forth over and over to get that. And the same thing with the next flowers that come along. Gotta keep my eye on what's out there, on account of my exceeding great curiosity. Oh, look, it's a person. It's two people standing on a boat. One is wearing green, one is wearing, I don't know, brown, I guess. Standing there fishing in the middle of the pickerel weeds. I guess they know where the fish are. People who have fished a lake forever know those things. Anyway, so that was the situation with the dandelions. And after the dandelions, there come the... What's next? Well, I know clover is what's happening right now. You know that clover is the same as a shamrock? A shamrock is a white clover. They are both called trifolium repens, not reopens. Leave out the O. Folium, leaf, trifolium repens. White clover and shamrock. So I've been out cutting the shamrocks. I have a whole field of shamrocks I cut yesterday. It's a sports field. But there's also, they're going to come back until they seed, and the everything, every plant, like the plantain. Plantain, sometimes it's got long skinny leaves and sometimes it's got big round leaves. And it sends up this nice little shoot, which is just a thin little strand, but it's rather tough. And then on top of it is this little point, this little arrowhead. And it's got little things sticking off of it, little white things sticking off of it. And that's what they use for Metamucil. That's it. It's psyllium. So that's where psyllium comes from, is plantain. Anyway, but I cut that whole field, and all those plantain stems came right back up. Hi, Suze. I hope it's not too hot there in Kansas today. It's going to be 28 here. 28's pretty darn warm. Not a cloud in the sky. You know, our trailer, our RV has air conditioning. Yes, it does. It was hot and humid last evening. So I just put on the air conditioning, had a wonderful sleep. Turned it off after a while and just left the fan on. Gotta look at this next thing that's waving in the wind over there. There was some Canada flags I saw. Oh, I see. They put up some multicolored kind of a strap across the dock. Across the boat launch. Kind of interesting. See, I'll show you out there. See, there's the boat launch on that. There's that house, and there's the people fishing, and there's a little tiny dot in the weeds, which is a Canada flag, another Canada flag. I don't see anything over there. That's all cattails, I believe. Let me just check it out. I tried to put my camera up to the binoculars. Kind of hard to see it, but I just know it's cattails. But you know, on my plant thing, I did a cattail and it said it was a bulrush. But rushes are different. Rushes are not cattails. Anyway, so I have to not confirm that one. You click on this button to confirm it. It was wrong. It's kind of tiring doing some of this work. I'm 66. I'll be 67 in September. I'm getting up there, aren't I? My friend just sent me a message, said, look who passed away. I think you know him. And then there's something. 102. Oh my gosh. What is that? 102 take away 32 would be 70. Half of 70 is 35. So 35, that's hot. Is that right? 35 and 35, 70. plus 30 is 102. 32, 102. Wow, 35 is hot. I thought 40 was 100. But I guess not. 35 must be 102. Wow. Look at this trampoline. It's moored one anchor in the middle. So it turns around and it goes off. It was funny, you know. I couldn't film it when all the kids were here. They're coming again. 300 kids are coming this week. Tomorrow, I think. Gonna be a hopping place. Anyway, not today. Today is Monday. Nothing happens in the church on Monday. Monday is family day. Family home evening every Monday evening. So no church activities are ever planned on Mondays. And camp is not open on Monday. Anyway, but they'll come tomorrow. Leave on Saturday. But that trampoline, you're only allowed 5 kids on it, right? And you know how teenagers are. Rules? What are they? But so there'd be 6 kids up there. And the lifeguard up here, she's such a hoot. She'd say, all right, too many. Push somebody off. It is a clean lake. Yes, it's very clean. Canada's lakes are very beautiful. None of this green or brown water. Well, green sometimes, I guess, but a lot of them are very beautiful and clear. I would think that the water's drinkable. I would drink it. There's nothing upstream that would pollute it. And we don't have acid rain anymore. That was after the demise of the coal mines, but they brought back some coal mines, so I don't know. Acid rain used to kill all the lakes in Ontario. I was a little too close there. Oh, here comes the paddle boat. The other day there was a paddle boat here and it had dozens of people on it, or at least a dozen. You can't see it from here. I need my binoculars. Look at this nice reflection. This driving back and forth on the lake is kind of a strange pastime, but I guess it's like putting a fan on yourself with a view. A cool fan. A little moisture in the air. Alright, I'll check this out, see how many people are on it. Just one person. Oh no, and a sunbather at the front. Sunbather and driver. Don't you think that was a great idea? The camp closes, well, the girls come, there's 4 weeks of girls, or sometimes 6 weeks of girls, all this different stakes send them. And they come for July and the first part of August, and then after that it's families, just families come. There's 7 campsites, and I think we close up. Well, there's very few families that are going to come after the Labor Day. I mean, the camp closes up at the end of October, which it took us 2 months to get it in shape for the campers to come. I hope it doesn't take us 2 months to close it up. That'll be a lot. But it's really, really nice to be here. You know, I never have been a lake person. I'm a stream and pond person because I like to look at the edges and the foliage and the animals. And lakes don't have as much wildlife on them. They have geese. There's a pile of geese out there between those 2 islands. Let me see if I can show you where they are. Yeah, I think they're in between these 2 islands. There's a pile of geese there. And there's loons at night. You can hear the loons. Oh, oh, and I forget the sound they make. It's like a ghost. My little grandson was scared of the loon sound. sounded like a ghost when he was little. A tender-hearted little soul. I love my grandchildren. I love playing with them, but you know, it's hard to keep up with them. I'm not 25. It was hard at 25 to keep up with my children. It was real hard, but not as hard as it is now. Now I rather have them come sit on my lap and I'll read them a story or something. Or we'll play Minecraft together. Minecraft is a very nice, no thinking kind of meditative game. You know, no, we don't stay after October. No, it snows. Good morning, Susan. You got my message. I have this group that I message and say, going live. So if you want to be on that little group, I use Messenger. There's about 6 people on there. It's nice to talk to you guys. I hope you all have a nice time. Susan's here too, Susan. And I don't know who else. It doesn't tell me that. It's very peaceful on a weekday here. Like especially a Monday. Of course, we're going to get a wake from that boat. The wake brings in all this stuff that has come in over the weekend. And a breeze to blow the trampoline around. But I'm beginning to really love this lake. I love sitting by it. When I go home, it's like, wait a minute, I don't have a lake to sit beside. What's wrong with this picture? So I drive down to the lake in town. Yes, I forgot to say I was here. I think it was because I was going to show you those geese. And they were there and I was in a hurry to turn it on. Oh no, otters. That's right. There were 4 baby otters in the beaver pond. See, you don't see that in the lake. There's a lot of wildlife going on in the pond. And I really like kayaking in it because there's not usually very much wind that'll combat you. There's a lot of wind on here. Not as much to make white caps or anything, but see where it's nice and still. That's where it's easy to kayak. So when you're kayaking and it's windy, you want to go and stay in the nice areas, right? You want to stay where it's stay where the water is smooth, because then there's no wind. And you can see it from a distance where the water is smooth and where it isn't. And you can see where you can cross the bumpy stuff. Oh dear. You know, I'm rather hungry. I didn't bring myself anything to eat. I mowed a trail. There's a trail down in here that goes down to the point, but there's all these rocks. And you have to lift up the thing when you go over a rock, but you don't always see the rocks. You don't know where they are if they're hidden in the grass. I always feel bad when the lawnmower clunks against a rock. The other folks that are here in charge of us, they are into removing the rocks. Probably a good thing. He's filling up the holes too. You see it's the water lily pad flowers. Somebody asked me the other day what my favorite kind of flower is. What's your favorite kind of flower? I love the way milkweed smells, and I love Joe Pye. Those are the best, but they need their feet wet. I try not to take down Joe Pye when I see them. They just fill the air with beautiful fragrance. And daffodils. Oh, I love daffodils, but they need to be in raised beds. I was going to buy daffodil bulbs the last few years, but there weren't any in the fall. And when there were some, they are so expensive. So expensive, but they come back every year. If you plant like crocuses, if you put them in an egg carton, and then bury the egg carton 6 inches deep, and then put a screen over it so the squirrels can't come and dig it up. That's a good idea. I think they need to be in raised beds. Maybe I should have a daffodil bed. And then they're high enough that you can smell them without having to get down on your hands and knees. That's a lot of work. I do it. Because you've heard all your life, smell the flowers, and if you don't do it when you think of it, you won't do it, so you better do it now. And, lately I've not been watching the sunsets. I've been saying, well, it's okay, I don't need to see the sunset tonight. I'm too tired. But I'm noticing that I haven't seen the sunset many times this summer because, well, I am too tired at night. And then if I come down here, it's really buggy on the beach, so I have to put on repellent. But that's just before I'm going to go to bed because it sets at about 9. And you get into bed, you don't want to have or mosquito repellent all over yourself, so that means you have to take a shower. If you're going to take a shower, you got to wash your hair, or you're going to have damp head because of the edges anyway. And if you take your shower, that's the time to wash your hair. But if you wash your hair at night, then you got to go to bed with a wet head, and you might catch a cold. Your hair will be nice and curly in the morning. Here's a dragonfly. Oh, somebody told me a great tip for the deerflies. Deerflies are flat, right? They're very flat, and they buzz around your head, and they are very irritating. Oh, lily of the valley is a nice one too. That should be in a raised bed. We have some of that, but it's right on the ground. Maybe I'll make a raised bed there and put it all in that. Oh, what a good idea. Of course, I probably won't remember it. I'll see it and think I remember I was going to do something about this. But this is one of my strings that are coming out of my hat. If you pull it, it will unwind. It's got a low battery, so when it dies, I won't be back because I don't have any charging equipment down here. I should probably go before it dies because then I will be able to contact Willem if he's up in the Serenity Garden doing the poison ivy. There's all these trails. Once you make a trail, you have to maintain it if you want to use it. I opened another trail today, one that goes behind the... Oh, you love my hat. Well, thank you. I think it needs flowers, don't you? Probably yellow flowers would be good. And maybe a bird. Don't you think I need a bird and some eggs? Maybe right there, a bird's nest with eggs, or maybe that should be somewhere else. Yes, indeed. I have to go to the store today, this afternoon when it's too hot to do anything else. I'll go to the store and I will get a new grasper. We have a grasper that's attached to the side of the lawnmower. They put 2 bracket hooks on there. They're like this with flat ends. And there's 2 of them, and the top is not screwed on, so you just slip it down in and it holds it on, and you can pick up sticks or whatever. But I use it for picking up trash. Sometimes there'll be a bit of a trash. Yeah, flowers for sure. Good idea, Susan. And, oh, I have a new idea. Anyway, I pick it up to pick up trash with it, but it won't, it'll close, but it won't open, or it'll open and not close, or it'll open and fall closed. Anyway, got to get a new one. You can get them for $1 at the dollar store or at the Dollarama, I believe. They've probably gone up to $2 or $4. Everything seems to have jumped from $1 to $4. Oh well. C'est la vie. Oh, I was going to show you something. Look, hair, it's been growing. So I usually start the braid here, and then it goes over, but it goes over too far, and you can't do it all. So now I've been pulling it back to here and starting the braid here. And so it's almost connecting. You see that? I don't know if you can see that. So eventually I think I'll start the braid in the center. Maybe I'll put a ponytail, and then I'll braid the 2 parts. I was for a while, I would take one up over the top and one down across the bottom. But that didn't really work very well. Thank you. But the part in the back is kind of a problem, you know, having that part. And these things were closer to the front. I had them up at the front. I liked them at the front. Anyway, I like these clear clips. They really disappear on my white hair. I like having white hair. You get befriended by white-haired people. It's very nice. There's this time before your hair turns white when it's salt and pepper, or just beginning to be salt and pepper, when you're sort of the old person that the young people sort of ignore, and you're invisible and nobody sees you. And they still don't see you when you got white hair, but you have pretty hair, Nancy. It's so thick. Hi, it's not thick anymore. But anyway, yes, it is thicker than some, I guess. Must be all that good air making your hair grow. Well, they say that braiding in Pakistan, that's a thing. Like, you braid your hair and it'll, all that pulling on it, the pulling on your hair and the braiding it is good for it. I usually cut my hair off when it starts having long straggly ends, but I didn't do it this time, and now it's like this much longer because of the straggly ends on it, which is good for when you braid it and you need it to go farther. Oh, I like having long hair. I like my hair. I have good hair. It's curly and it's long and it does what I want it to do. And if it doesn't, all I have to do is wet it, and it does. I wouldn't want to have straight hair that's short, that is thin and just goes straight and you can't do anything with it but leave it that way. I think that would not be much fun. I think everybody that has hair like that has complained to me that they don't like their hair. So I'm very blessed that I have this kind of hair. Even though it's so thick, it's quite hot. I have to, it's like burying my head in 6 inches of insulation. There he is. Willem! 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 Nope. That's that. He's gone. Some people see things out of their peripheral vision, but he doesn't. He never sees me. I can run fast. You've seen me run after him, haven't you? Boy, I really don't have, my body does not feel like doing anything else. My body is crapped out on me now. My mind, you know, in my mind, I could go and I could pick up all these weeds and toss them up into the Kubota, which he just drove away with. Pick up all this goose poop, no problem. Got that little pooper scooper. That. He flew right by, yeah. He just doesn't see out of his peripheral vision. Oh well. Oh, I have an idea. You know, you get those deerflies and they buzz around your head. Battery again. It's gonna crap out on me. Anyway, you don't have deerflies in the south, but up here you do. And they buzz around and then they bite. They take a little chunk. And you can see that chunk is missing. It's a little chunk. It's probably 3 millimeters across. Maybe 2 millimeters. But it's a hole. And you're without skin in that place and it itches terribly. Anyway, and they are so nasty. They go around and around and around. Yeah, our bodies do let us know when we have to rest. We might as well rest. Take in the scenery. It's okay if you don't have a deadline or somebody else that thinks that you should do something. But today I'm on my own. So today I'm on my own pace. It's good. People here are quite understanding of our age because we're all getting up there a little bit. This is the kind of job for young people, but young people all have to work. So the people that are service missionaries here are, well, they're all in their 60s and 70s. I guess I'm the youngest at 66. 3 men at 73 and We have a lifeguard and her husband now. So what do we do for deer flies? Double-sided tape. Or you can fluff up your hair and they'll get stuck in it, and you can then squish them and take them out of your hair. Or, if you don't want to do that, you take a piece of double-sided tape and you put it on the brim of your hat. Or, if there's a lot of them, you can just put it right around it, and they'll all get stuck. You'll hear them buzz once, and then they're stuck as soon as they land, and they can't eat you up. It's the best thing ever. Now this looks best when it's coming down a little bit. There you go. That's the style thing right there. Wait a minute. There. So I need that's what the other thing was I needed. Yes, I couldn't remember. Double-sided tape and a grasper for the lawnmower. So Deerflies and a grasper. So D and G. If you turn it around GD, it's a very bad word. So we'll just remember that put them together, it's a bad word, and I will remember now. Deerflies, double-sided tape, and a grasper. There we go. 2 things. And I probably should get something else. I probably am out of oranges again. Oh, here comes another 2 boats. You see the same boats all the time, the same boats. They have to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's quite like joyriding. Remember the Sunday afternoon joyride? Country drive, I guess it's like that, but I don't like to be in the sun. These wakes are all going to come in